smart in movement, getting smart about how you move. I'm Hazel. Thank you so much for joining me for this coffee and move number 17. We're in day 12 or 13 or something of our retreat here in New Zealand. I hope you're having a wonderful time. I've had a few questions about what's the best way to increase my flexibility. Is it stretching? And my answer is no. The best way to increase your flexibility is to take your joints through their full range of motion all day, every day while you move through your natural environment. We don't do that anymore, so the way to get better movement in your body, and flexibility, mobility, strength, they're just all made up terms that we use to describe movements, but the body doesn't know what they mean. The body just knows movement. So in order for you to get better at moving, you must move more, and you must move in a huge variety of ways. So let's do some stuff, and let's do some slightly bigger moves today. So let's start by being on the ground, and then just any way you can come into a standing position. And let's do a variety of those. So I can come from this position, come up here. Yeah, the body just knows movement. And like exercise science is a very young science, and nobody ever kind of went, what movements do we need for our optimal biological function? Arnie just started pounding a whole lot of weights. Jane Fonda started kicking your legs around and doing all kinds of stuff, and we went, that's cool, let's do that. But one of my teachers, Katie Bowman, said, and lots of other people actually have asked this question, what movements do we actually need for our biological function? And we know we need things like the squat pattern, right? We squat to toilet. We should squat to toilet on a daily basis. What else do we need? We need hanging, we need swinging, we need climbing, because they're very natural things in our natural environment. What else do we need? We need floor sitting. And I shouldn't even say floors, ground sitting. We need sitting on the ground to open up our hips. What else do we need? We need lifting. We need carrying. These movements are very natural movements. Carrying things. What else do we need? We need walking. It's the most fundamental human movement. We didn't become humans and then start walking. We became humans because we were bipedally walking, right? Walking is the most foundational human movement. And if you're not walking, you should start doing more walking. And all of the movements that I give people in terms of restorative exercise movements from Katie Bowman are all designed to help you walk better, to increase your alignment in walking, so that the most foundational human movement of walking is doing well in your body, therefore creating an environment for optimal biological function. Cool there. All right. So let's do, I'm just bolstering myself up a little bit, coming up and down into a squat. And coming back up. You can change position of your feet a little bit, so every load is not exactly the same. You can turn your feet out a little bit. Turn your feet in a little bit. And then let's come back down and sit. On our legs, take our butt over to one side. We're going to reach up, get a nice stretch through the lateral line here, through the QR. Make sure that you're not thrusting your ribs, right? That your rib cage is in alignment with your hip there. What's the weather like where you are today? I'm in Christchurch, New Zealand. It's a lovely day today. It's a wee bit cooler, but the sun is shining. There's lots of bellbirds around. I talked about birds yesterday, but man, there are a lot more birds about because of the lack of cars. Interesting, hey? Everybody needs to sell their car. Or buy an electric car for my brother Dave at EV City. Currently car sales aren't going so well in Christchurch. Oh, I love this one. Anybody else love this one? Okay, on the other side. And after that, let's do a bit of spinal twisting. So I'm going to bolster myself up. I'm going to sit on this meditation cushion. I'm going to cross my legs the way I normally cross them. Then I'm going to cross them the other way. Then what I'm going to do is put my hands across my chest and without thrusting my rib cage. So let me turn side on for a second. Many people when they're doing a rotation do this. They go, here I am rotating, and then rotate, right? So you can see I've done a big rib thrust. I've taken the bottom of my rib cage from a neutral position and thrust it forward. And that creates a whole lot of shear in the joints in your back, basically, on your discs especially. We don't want to create shear, we just want to create rotation. So that nice, easy rotation rather than a forward inner rotate. Ouch. So, from the front again, look at me wanting to change my legs back to my regular old way. I'm just going to cross my hands over my chest and twist to one side. So you'll notice also that I'm ramping my head or keeping my head in alignment. I'm not thrusting my chin forward. I'm still breathing. And I'm just going as far as I can using my abs. This is actually quite a good workout for the abs. So the other thing to check out here is, am I shifting? Because a lot of people will, when they do a rotation, they'll shift and rotate. So don't do a rib shift. Keep your ribs in natural alignment with the pelvis. It's a good one, okay? And then you can go the other side. And I just want you to notice, is one side easier to rotate to? Look at yourself in a mirror if you can. Make sure you're not rib thrusting. Make sure you're not shifting. And make sure you are breathing. Really important. The body can go for days without food, weeks without food, months without food probably, days without water, but it can only go a few minutes without oxygen. And shut your mouth and breathe in and out through your nose. And if you don't know why, read The Oxygen Advantage. It's a great book by Patrick McKeown. Awesome book. Just Google that guy. Okay, when you've done one rotation either way, do another one. And now just use your hands to kind of pull you around a little bit further. But then lift your hands and see if you can keep yourself in that spot. So if you take yourself a little bit too far and then you kind of notice that you're bouncing back, you've gone too far. We don't want to get too much into the elastic properties of the fascia and muscle. We just want to use your strength to get you into a position while still breathing. I love a bit of rotation. Spinal rotation is key. Let's see, Mum's just out in the garden. Mum's in my bubble. Who's in your bubble? Hope you're having fun with your bubbles. Okay, and use those hands to take you around a little bit further. And then see if you can hold yourself in that same position. Oh, yeah. So these are just moves that I don't know, that I don't get a lot of in my everyday life. So I create a little bit of exercise time to do these moves that I don't get in my regular life. I'm also incorporating a lot of exercise into my other time. So I do a lot of calf stretching, soleus stretching, top of the foot stretching, foot moves, foot mobilizations and whatnot when I am working at my standing desk. so that I don't have to do those exercises so much in my exercise time. I also like to do other things while walking, so taking business calls, all of those kind of things. Let's do a V-sit so that I'm stacking my time. If you haven't read Katie Bowman's book, Movement Matters, read it and read about stacking your life. It's the opposite of multitasking. It's not about doing a whole lot of things at once. It's about getting a whole lot of things that you value in the same chunk of time. One, it means that you know what you value. So an example might be, I value having time with my niece and nephew. I value niece and nephews. I value being outside. I value movement. I value giving my brother and sister-in-law here in New Zealand time off from their children. I value maybe teaching my niece and nephew a little bit of stuff. So me taking them outside for a walk in the sun gives my body movement, gives their bodies movement, gives my brother and sister-in-law time away from their kids, gives us time to connect. It establishes a whole lot of things that I value in the same chunk of time, which is stacking. Read about stacking. And stack your life. And move your arms. And move your thorax. I'm going to learn how to do peace sign with my toes. I practiced yesterday. I can do the thumbs up, apparently. You see that? Little thumbs up with my toe there. Foot function is what it's all about. If you don't have good foot function, if you don't have good strength in your flexor hallucis muscle, then you are going to have issues either with your feet, issues in your lower limb. Yeah, shoes, get them off. Well, transition wisely into wearing shoes less and less, and then transition wisely means take your time and learn about what you need to do. You should take my foot, restore your foot, restore your hips, and restore your thoracic spine, which is the last day to sign up today, actually. If you email me at hazel@mindinmovement, I will sign you up for that. Awesome. It's only $49.99 plus GST. Thanks to everybody that's already signed up. Pumped to get into it. Okay. So, yeah. How are you going to move your body today? Are you going to move your body really rigidly and stiffly? Are you going to move your body with a lot of flow? Are you going to move your body mindfully? What does that even mean? Are you going to be aware about what you're doing? Who knows? I'm going to have a fun day walking in nature, but I'm not allowed to go that far away from my house, so I'll just be walking through the same bit of nature over and over and over again, which will be great. I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will see you all tomorrow.